Oh,
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Dead Funny Podcast. I'm your host, Chris, and we got a full fucking house tonight. We got Kelsey, we got James, we got Canter, we got JoJo. Everybody here. So, a lot of topics to talk about. I'm not going to lie. So, first on my list here, guys, is a heartbreaker for JoJo, and I don't know if he's seen this yet or not, but as of 2 hours ago, Jim Lee came out and confirmed that there will be no more Zack Snyder DC anything as far as movies are concerned. He's done.
I'm not
dude.
heartbroken. I don't care.
It's just when we picked our movies, you're the one guy that's like, you know what? That 4-hour adventure, yeah, that was my favorite movie of this year.
Did I say that? Oh God. Wait,
Exactly.
Also, I saw
love that
like
you
3
forgot.
movies. I saw, like, no movies.
Shit. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Yeah. Nope, that's all I had, dude. Damn. No, I'm just joking. So,
Oh yeah.
staying on the movie thing, this will probably
That's
only be
okay.
interesting to me, Canter, JoJo, and Kelsey. D&D's getting a movie.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
I literally saw the trailer like 30 minutes ago.
Yeah. Chris Pine. Let's go. Dude's a beast. But yeah, it's like
I don't
it's
know
Honor
anything.
Among Thieves, I think is what it's called, or something about thieves. I don't know.
Something about,
Yeah.
It was something
you
about
don't
thieves.
need heroes if you have thieves. Yeah.
So there are some major players in the D&D community, like obviously we've got podcasts and things like that are huge. Are they grabbing any of those people to be engaged in any way? Because even cameos of those people would be huge for the people that actually play D&D or engage with D&D content frequently.
It would be cool from the trailer. No, I did see that. Like, in my opinion, Chris Pine's like the only like mega star actor that's in it. Like other people, like I've seen them, but not like on his level type deal.
Oh, Michelle Rodriguez is in it. Okay.
Like the chick that's got the red
Yeah.
hair in there. I can't think of what her name is, but yeah, she like turns it. She's the druid that turns into the owlbear or whatever. Yeah,
Look pretty
like
cool.
I've seen her multiple times and things, but she's not like, I guess I wouldn't put her in the same tier as Chris Pine. You know what I mean?
Oh, yay.
Weird.
I'm pretty sure, I'm 98% sure this is the man from Bridgerton.
Yeah, that's him. I don't. Regé Jean.
That man. Yep, delightful. Good. Yay. Couldn't be
Delightful.
happier. He is a very pretty man to watch. I know the rest of you may or may not be able to relate to that. I will leave that up to you, but damn.
I only know who he is. 'Cause he hosted SNL once. Like, who the fuck's this guy? And
Watch Bridgerton. See if you have any more
I'm
emotions.
not going to.
That's fair. That's fair.
Just
Yeah,
nah.
it's not. Doesn't seem my.
Not your
own-
genre.
But yeah, it was interesting to see how this plays out, because we've had multiple stabs, in my opinion, of different levels of entertainment being brought to the cinematic universe. So we saw the awesome blowout of comic book movies with Marvel, obviously, some very little amount DC, but some DC movies. Watchmen, I think, was fucking phenomenal. I definitely think it was way before its time. But that being said, we've also seen a stab at video game movies as well, which I don't think have done well at all. I mean, the Halo movie got canceled because there was all this other bullshit, and what they had filmed before looked like fucking ass. From what I heard, the Assassin's Creed movie didn't do well, like, at all.
No.
Yeah.
Bro, have you seen Sonic?
Sonic is an exception. You're right.
Sonic is
Sonic
fucking amazing.
1 and 2. Fucking
Yes.
fire.
Is Sonic amazing because they went back and redesigned the character?
Yes. Thank you, Internet. That's the time that we fought, and we won.
Yeah.
That's the time we fought, and we won.
Yeah.
Yep.
Those early
Yeah.
Tomb Raider movies did okay.
You're right.
They weren't good, I don't think, but like they.
They were
Well,
good
they
enough.
weren't anything new, and that's part of what made
Yeah.
it difficult. It's like, if you'd played the games, it was a shot-for-shot remake, and like, cool. I just feel less connected to this because I'm not actually telling the character to do it.
And that was like the problem with the Uncharted movie too. It's like, okay, Uncharted's thing is it's Indiana Jones as a video game. If you turn it back into a movie, what the fuck is it?
You didn't like Uncharted with Tom Holland
I didn't go
Mark
see
Wahlberg?
it. I didn't see it.
Okay.
I meant
It
to
didn't
go
look
see
I
appealing.
watched it.
I never played Uncharted, but I meant to go watch it.
I mean, for me, like,
I liked it.
I have a big
I don't
issue I have a big issue with things trying to just copy something else just for the sake of fucking doing it. I don't know why. I don't know. To me, like, it's very easy to get into those battles of like this v this, this v this, this v this. So like growing up, it was Halo versus Call of Duty. I was Halo, 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 Halo. James fucking knows this better than anybody. And so whenever it came to that, it was like, all right, cool. You're just trying to be Tomb Raider. Like, I already love Tomb Raider. Like, this is my shit. Like, why do I need to go play Uncharted? Like, Tomb Raider's already here. It's established. I love it. It's a great game.
Now, do you think that Uncharted reaches a market that Tomb Raider does not?
I think.
Like, do you think there's a whole group of people that would never engage with Tomb Raider for whatever reason that would engage with Uncharted?
I think so. That's where that double-edged sword is at. I think the same group of people would play Uncharted for the fact that Lara Croft is the lead character and she's a female, but at the same time she's also very hot and wears very skimpy shit. So I also see the same group also playing it for that. It's stuck right in between. You know what I mean? Like, to me, I just always thought Lara Croft was a fucking cool character. I mean, fucking Tifa was bae, so I didn't really have like a need to look for another.
You've never
fucking
given
bae.
a shit whether your main character was male or female.
No, that's never.
There's a lot of people that are definitely male and female driven, like when it comes to main characters. So
exactly.
I can see where that's coming from.
Yep. So
I've cared about it exactly once. I'm sorry, JoJo, you were saying
I
something?
was gonna say Uncharted came out at a point where like Tomb Raider wasn't even happening anymore.
Yeah, before the
It was during
remakes.
a weird
Way after the fact,
a break in the series, so it wasn't.
And also, there might have been a lot of new, like the span, right? There might have been a lot of people that didn't even think about playing Tomb Raider that played Uncharted just because, like you said, the gap in between the two, and people just obviously nobody's going to go back and play an old game if a new game comes out. Obviously, we'll all go back and play old games, but like, you're talking about a kid growing up, you're talking about 13, 14 years old, right? He's not going to go and play. Yeah, he's not going to go play.
Right,
Tomb
those
Raider.
old Tomb Raider games look like garbage. Like,
yeah, we go back and play old games because there's a nostalgia. I remember loving this. Like, you don't go and pick up an old version of a game.
Granted, new game. I mean, old games are ass.
Like,
you disagree with me.
I mean, they resold Mega Man and they put them back in 8-bit for Mega Man 10 and
no, 11.
Well, how many people do you think showed up and was like, "Oh wow, this is so new, this is so cool," versus how many people showed up and were like, "Oh yeah, fuck yeah, I love this. This is the thing I already loved."
That's what indie games. A lot of them are just like two platformers a lot, and those are popular, and so it still works. Like early 3D games all look like 2D art holds up a lot better, and early 3D Lara Croft who looks like a monster.
Yeah, blocky. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
Harder to play.
I think there's an important thing to point out here too. I think the whole 8-bit world as it is, the last of Gen X and the millennials, that I don't think anybody past us really gives two shits about that. Like, I think once we're done with video games and I'm fucking 90 and dying, like, that's when 8-bit's gonna go away. Like I think we're the tail end of that genre because we grew up. Like, we grew up with that. I think that's the situation. Like, I know people, like, I sat down with my grandpa and watched fucking movies without color. I fucking hated it, but I can do it to where exact same scenario. My brother did not and physically will not do it. So I think growing up with something kind of gives you a little bit more of a, like, you have the leniency to it. So, for instance, I have friends who, you know, are a little bit later on in the millennial years, and, like, they fucking played the remake and fucking loved the remake, but they physically will not touch the original because of the graphics. And I'm like, well, what's the oldest game you played? And whenever they come back with something like fucking Kelsey with, like, Mass Effect, it's like, okay, cool. So you didn't grow up with it. You don't really give a shit. Like, there's no recurring factor for you to go back and be like, oh, man, dude, this is fucking awesome. Like you said, nostalgia. I remember doing shit like this. Now, your argument with Mega Man, in my opinion, is not popular enough to gain a new audience. So them doing the whole bringing him back to the 8-bit was solely for the people who are still like, oh, there's a new Mega Man coming out. Now, I'm not talking shit about Mega Man. I love Mega Man. Don't get me. I bought it. I bought it. Like, I'm not gonna talk shit. I love Mega Man, but I don't think Mega Man is on that level anymore. Like, people are like, man, dude, I wonder what the fuck people are doing with Mega Man right now. I hope there's a new game coming out. Like, no one cares. Like, no one gives a shit besides people who are like, oh shit, they made a new Mega Man game? Sweet. I remember playing that when I was like 6. Buy? Like, that's who's buying Mega Man.
I feel like
a lot of younger people are still okay with that aesthetic because there's so many modern games at 8-bit. You know, like
that's the argument.
The Undertale audience is like pretty young in a lot of cases, and that game looks like a Super Nintendo game.
I feel like there's enough of this, like, hey, this is an aesthetic for not only 8-bit, but for several different, like, moments in video game history where, like, there was an entire experience around this moment that that are getting recreated and brought back, and then, like, I don't know, sampled is probably the wrong way to describe it, but, like, sampled and, like, oh, hey, this level has an entire 8-bit level, or this has an entire, like the old-fashioned, like, Tomb Raider, like, real bad 3D graphics kind of thing, and I think it's building a longevity into that we don't necessarily experience because we have the nostalgia driving us through some of these other experiences. That's the argument I'd make.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair, but I would also argue, I think we live in an age right now where entertainment is no longer as creative as it used to be, in my opinion. We get a lot of remakes, we get a lot of remasters, we get a lot of redos. And it's like, what's the driving force to go play Final Fantasy VII when you can play Final Fantasy VII Remake and it's got all these amazing fucking blow your tits off graphics? Same thing with Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, the whole new fucking series that's out. It's amazing, blowing your fucking mind. It's fucking fantastic. Why go back and play the old ones? That's where I think exactly. So if they don't have that nostalgia, why would they go back and play it? So if we were to literally look at every 8-bit game we have right now and give it brand new upgraded graphics, who's going to go back and play the old shit? We are. I don't think the new generation is.
Some stuff holds up just on its own basis, though, I think. Like, kids probably still play Super Mario World because they have a Nintendo thing and it's built in there. And also, like, YouTubers love to do these videos are like, whoa, look at this, what happened with Gex. And now kids care about Gex for some reason, you know?
Yeah, because one of the major YouTubers went back and did a nostalgia moment that became a memory and a major moment for these other people.
There's an element where, like, all our media is so nostalgic for the things from when the people making the media were kids, and all the kids are now consuming the media. Like, kids go see Ready Player One, and now they have to know what a DeLorean is, and they shouldn't because they're children. But, like, it's perpetuating itself.
Like they shouldn't.
They're like, no, because that movie's from the 80s.
Absolutely.
They should not know what that is. Like, kids should not know what Powdered Toast Man is. Like,
true.
Why are they
Very true.
True. True.
Ren and Stimpy was not for kids when
when we were watching it. Yeah, JoJo. Yeah, that shit was not ready for us when we watched it at all.
And I love it, but like
that's great, dude.
What child?
Yeah, that was a raunchy ass cartoon.
It was big time.
That was a raunchy ass cartoon.
I mean, I see that shit.
Yeah, Canter and I are like, nah.
I see that shit now as playing Smite, and I see people pick the Gilgamesh suit for Powdered Toast Man, and then he'll be running in the battle, and then like whenever you run so long, he'll go up to fly. I totally forgot that this was in the cartoon, but he flies ass first. I completely forgot about that in the cartoon, and so here he is, just ass first, just flying around everywhere. And the fact that, like, in order for him to fly, he has to do the whole fucking armpit shit and make the actual fart noise to take off. Yeah, it's crazy. Kelsey's just like, wow, I am glad that
Canter
I
and I are
missed out on
both
this.
like, this is an experience.
If you're interested in figuring out what Ren and Stimpy is, just go Google highlights and watch like a minute, 1 minute of it, and you'll understand why.
Yeah.
James, have I ever given you any indication that I would be down for that? That I'm just like, oh yeah, Ren and Stimpy, that's my shit. Like,
yeah, about 20 minutes ago you did.
oh my god. People are gonna have so many questions. What were you saying, JoJo? I talked right over you.
That show was like gross. Like, there's a lot. If you look up images of that show, a lot of times they do like.
There you go. You can just do that. You ain't gotta watch the video.
Zoom ins on stuff of like disgusting
boogers and shit like that. Yeah, that's all it was. Very much the toilet humor.
Very
not my jam.
That's the W. Nash Brothers thing that has the Iron Giant in it, and it's like. Also, it's a game where they ask you your age, and the top age they'll let you enter. It's like, I'm under 10, I'm every year from 10 to 21, or I'm over 22. Like, they don't expect it's not a game designed for adult people to put Iron Giant in it. Yeah, so that stuff just perpetuates forever now.
I mean, yeah, but I just feel like it's more of a, it's like I've said that 1,000 times about Ready Player
I mean, a lot
One.
of it's going to fall by the wayside.
Yeah,
not everything
for sure. But I've said that 1,000 times about Ready Player One. That's just a nostalgia grab. Like that movie was made for us to sit in that movie theater and go, I remember that. I remember that. I remember that. Oh, that's cool. Like, you know, like that. That's all that was. But it's like that. I mean, I feel like that strengthens my case of like sooner or later, especially with the younger audience, like they're not going to have that nostalgia moment. They're like, I don't know who the fuck that is. Iron Giant.
Who this growing up in VR right now.
Yeah. They see that, and now they know, and now their thing 20 years from now is still going to be referencing Iron Giant for some reason.
I don't know, man. I feel like that's a stretch.
It's like there's so many things that I only reference because The Simpsons referenced it, and I don't even know the original thing, but I'll still make a reference to like Marlon Brando stuff that like I don't get. Like that much of it, it's just.
One place that I'll disagree with you, Chris, a little bit, and it's kind of leaning into what JoJo is saying here, is the media of our childhood, which drives a lot of our nostalgia, is way more accessible to kids now than the media of our parents' childhood. Or like our grandparents' childhood, like just the actual form of media itself. So we're talking like the difference between like, oh yeah, we sat down and we listened to radio stories. Cool. Like those not only don't exist, those weren't something that our parents sat down and were like, here, we're going to have you listen to a radio story with us. Like there was no way for them to expose us to that media. Where if I had a kid right now, like, fuck yeah, we're watching Iron Giant. Are you kidding me? Yes, that is happening. Like that will be part of my kids' experience when I have them. And so, like, there's a relatability and there's an accessibility that is not available to the generations previous. So that's where I'm going to disagree with you a little bit.
I guess what out there has stood the test of time to prove that this is, like, a thing? You know what I mean? Like to continuously, because like if I use your example,
that when our experience of media has so drastically changed, like if you're like name me a movie, like movie itself, like what has been defined as a movie and how it was experienced has changed so drastically. But the change between like 2020 and 1990, that isn't a huge jump. 1960 and 1990, huge jump.
I agree, but the same argument can be used. Like, it changes so drastically again, and now it's just like everything that we're talking about now is basically fucking void.
I think I get what she's saying. The thing is,
for like, sure.
Anybody today can YouTube anything from before, right? When we were growing up, there was physically no way for us as a generation to be shown there before.
I used to have to run down to the library and print out walkthroughs from fucking GameFAQs.com in order to get through certain fucking video games when I was younger. Yes, I agree with you. But that's my thing though, right? So we're saying that most of this stuff passed on. Like for instance, I've got a fucking tradition. I watch The Nightmare Before Christmas every fucking night on Halloween and every night the night before Christmas. It's just it was something that I was growing up with, so I fucking do it, and I'll do it with my kid. But like I said, when does that stop? Because it's no longer her nostalgia. It's me pushing my nostalgia on my daughter, hoping that she'll push her nostalgia. That is, yes.
Let her be 20 though. And let her go to college and look at her friends and be like, this is what I did like every year growing up, and then she's now building that in with her friends as well, and then that becomes part of her traditions.
For sure. But that's what I'm saying. Like I guess the argument's based on the fact of how we talked about the Iron Giant. You're like, oh, I'll watch that with my kid, blah 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 blah. Well, your kid fucking loves it, and all of a sudden they hit fucking 8, and they're like, this fucking movie was trash. I don't know why I ever fucking watched it in the first place. It's everything is changing so much with the way that we have media. Hold on one second, Canter. With the way that we have media coming in, like, I just feel like there's just so much of it now. Because what you're talking about with the change, like, literally fucking Twitch, all this other shit, there's so much shit to consume. It's hard for me to believe that shit like that is going to continue to keep moving forward. Whenever, like, every day. I mean, I know fucking people, I don't fucking do this. I know fucking people who have their 4 and 5-year-olds who are fucking sitting there with, like, 3 tablets and a fucking, game, or fucking PlayStation and all this other shit. Like, there's just so much media and so much new shit constantly getting pumped out. I just don't see the nostalgia continuing to be a way. Like, I don't think it's going to happen soon. I think our kids will have an impact. What I meant by us being the last generation is, like, I think we're fighting for it at this point. Like, our generation is fighting for 8-bit. Like, that's where I feel like we're at. I know a lot of people who just don't give 2 fucks about anything that's... I mean, fucking Joey is a great example of that. He's like, what, fucking 4 or 5 years younger than us? Dude won't play anything that's not fucking 4K. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and he fucking didn't grow up with video games like that.
It's a personal.
Definitely thought you were just gonna leave it at he's 4. Like, yep, that's Joey.
Yeah, fuck Joey. Who cares? Yeah, fuck him. Anyways, Canter, go ahead.
But with Iron Giant is going to be in character in Multiverses, which is a Warner Brothers fighting game, which is pulling a bunch of different characters from a bunch of different things, putting them in there as a fighting game. But you have stuff like that, and the kid sees it, and they're like, well, who is this? And then they go back and look at the old stuff.
But is somebody really going to choose the Iron Giant over fucking SpongeBob in that game? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if the kids are playing that game, they're like, he's in that game.
All-Star Brawl.
He is in that game.
Is he?
Not that one.
It's in a
There's
different.
there's
Two
a
games.
Nickelodeon one. That's
There's a
Okay.
Nickelodeon one and there's a Warner Brothers one.
Sorry, sorry. Anyways, what I'm saying is some kid gonna scroll across the Iron Giant, but like take 2 more scrolls and see somebody he fucking knows. Is he really gonna choose the Iron Giant, which he has no idea who the fuck this guy even is? You know, like
a cool robot, so maybe.
absolutely, he's badass. Don't get me wrong, like
Yeah.
Well, it also depends on, like, is he playing with friends and siblings? Because, like, if his friends chose those characters first, it's like, well,
Maybe.
fuck, like, all right,
Maybe.
this guy's gigantic and made of iron, like, we're choosing
Right.
this guy, and then he exposes himself to the, like, to the original media. Like, it's not just will he choose this in solo play, it's what are the options, don't know why I turned into a guy, but what are the options when he's engaging with multiple people?
I guess my main point on that is that if things aren't remade and things aren't remastered, I don't think that certain things are going to survive. At like Iron Giant, for instance, like he can get thrown in this game, he can get thrown in that game. I think at some point kids are going to see how old that movie is, and the animation is not going to hold up to what animation standards are today, and they're not going to care to watch it. But if they remade an Iron Giant movie, I feel like Iron Giant has a chance to go on for another decade or two and be fucking fine.
I think in terms of like animation, that movie is probably recent enough that it holds up forever.
Maybe. I don't remember when the fuck that movie came out.
It's a 2D, I think, right? Like,
I think so.
Yeah.
so early 3D stuff, obviously, like if you try to watch first Toy Story, it looks like not great, but 3D stuff holds up pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Like I said, I just feel like things are getting constantly remade and remastered for that nostalgia factor. And I think that without that, there are certain things that would die. I honestly
totally.
believe that.
Stuff that there's absolutely stuff that
I wholeheartedly agree that.
deserves to live.
With that, I just don't. Yeah, like, good point, JoJo. Like, some of this stuff may not necessarily deserve to live. Like, if it can't carry itself without our nostalgia, then yeah, there's excellent movies that I will never watch because I have no reason to do so. Like, in 40 years, right now on Amazon Prime, you can find a bunch of black and white movies. 40 years, you won't be able to find them there anymore because the people that are watching them aren't alive. Dark, terrible moment.
I mean,
Like,
yeah.
kids are gonna watch Ants a lot. The movie Ants from the 90s.
that movie slaps.
I was
Yeah.
just saying, I
Yeah,
fucking
movie
love that
does
movie.
that.
My kids
And
watch it.
like,
My daughter
kids
watched
are
it.
watching that-
Yeah, my daughter's
kids
been
are
watching it.
that back to back.
Yeah.
okay, my bad.
But I also think, like, when we were kids watching Ants, we had DVD players.
Yeah.
Our parents didn't have DVD players. Our kids are going to grow up in houses that do have something that can play a DVD. It's also going to have streaming services that's going to have Ants on it. So, like, it's just, I think our media, with our 90s kids media, is so much more accessible than our parents' media was, or even further back to the generations moving forward.
Right, and I agree. But like I said, when we go back,
to let go of it.
yeah, when we go back to the whole,
Watching Ants!
Right.
when we go back to the whole remaking aspect, though, it's like, how does something like 8-bit stay alive then?
I mean, they keep re-releasing like Sonic games and shit, and kids must be playing that because they're kids who like Sonic the Hedgehog, and all the games they put out in the last decade are like not good.
Ash, right?
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
feel like, I mean, to me, and obviously this is my own personal experience, and this was the coolest part about going and seeing Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And I'm so pissed off that the recording that I did for the review show about Sonic the Hedgehog 2 totally got destroyed because my stupid self didn't click on the actual stream that I had going on in Discord, so I had the trailers playing behind me. So
Aww.
I'm talking, and the trailer is just talking over me the entire time. I thought it was muted because I wasn't clicked onto that stream because I didn't need to watch it. Normally I click on it whenever you guys are here, so we're all watching it together. I'm just watching it over here. So the entire time I'm talking, it's just talking over me the entire time. And I was like, motherfucker. So I just said, fuck it. Anyways, Main point is, whenever I went to go see the movie, the coolest part for me, and this is where I think a lot of kids got into Sonic, was I was surrounded by dads with their kids. And it was the kids going, what are we going to go see? And the dads are all like, oh, I hope they do Knuckles right. Or, I can't wait to see Tails. Like, that was so cool for me because I'm like, holy shit, this is awesome. Like, I wish my daughter was old enough so I could be doing this with her as well. But I think that, once again, there's that remake aspect, right? So now the remake's been made, so your Sonic sales are going to be, one, dads are like, now it's accessible because I could buy any fucking Sonic game I want to now on Steam. Sonic is accessible, so now all these fucking dads that haven't played Sonic in years are like, you know what? I feel like fucking playing Sonic, especially whenever they give you the outro of the fucking movies and it's all in 8-bit and it's showing the worlds and shit like that. Like, yeah, it immediately made me go, I want to go home and fucking play Sonic. Like, immediately. I bought all the Sonics. It happened, 100%. This is, like I said, personal experience here. I think kids will play it. I don't think they'll continue to play it. I don't think there's longevity in that realm of gaming for the newer age, and I don't know a way that 8-bit can be remade to capture the younger audience the way that it captured us.
I do see it dying, and I do see all the older movies dying off as well. Like, to kind of pick up on Chris's point about the whole Nightmare Before Christmas, if he puts that on his kid until, like I said, 8 years old, at 8 years old, a kid is going to have the mindset to, like, have can think about their own shit. And if they're sitting there watching A Nightmare Before Christmas, which, to be honest with you, is a terrible looking movie, right? We watch it just because it's...
Whoa, let's calm down.
No.
He's gonna throw a fist.
No. It is a terrible... No, I don't even give a shit. It is a terrible looking movie, right? It is
amazing.
It is like people are made out of clay, you know, whatever.
That's what it is.
That's what I'm saying. So if this 8-year-old is watching this Nightmare Before Christmas, and then like all her friends and all these stuff are watching these badass fucking graphics, like, she's probably gonna ask herself, why am I watching this shitty ass fucking, you know, when I can watch this badass shit with all these animations and all this graphics and all this, you know, cool explosions and, you know, I feel like at that point she would probably...
It's called Monsters, Inc., and she's in love with it.
Christmas movies hold up differently, though. Like, people still watch
but
it, like Frosty Snowman thing.
Even for me, it's hard to watch Nightmare Before Christmas. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Well, that's...
I'm just being honest. Like, don't get me wrong, I like it. I've watched it, but like...
And James's last podcast, everybody. We're glad to have him. Chris is gonna kick him off right now.
There's a lot of hills for me to die on. That's not one of them. That's definitely not one of them.
I haven't watched the movie.
Dude, once again, Scientology. We already know. Like, anything that we talk about is good. There's a 95% chance you have no idea what the fuck we're talking about. It's completely
the
fine.
idea that a skeleton could celebrate Christmas.
Exactly. Or that Christmas exists.
If the kid has access to things that are going to have better graphics, they're going to go with better graphics.
It matters if the person likes that aesthetic, though. Because, like, claymation, stop-motion animation, it's an art form. You just like it or you don't like it. It comes down to that.
Right.
I don't know what, like, modern animated Christmas movies have held up beyond the year they released. Right?
I don't think so either. Yeah.
Yeah, like, at some point, if something was good, it would stay in rotation, I guess.
But see, that's the question, though. If they remade Nightmare Before Christmas with modern-day animation...
It could. It would probably look shittier.
Would it bring in that younger audience is the question.
Maybe.
It does. That's like Home Alone. Home Alone used to rotate all the time. All the time. But, I mean, I haven't really... It hasn't been a thing that rotates on TV hardly anymore.
Bro, I don't want to talk about Home Alone. Last time we talked about Home Alone, we talked about who he dated. We had Brenda Young, and we went down a whole rabbit hole with that. That was a heartbreaking rabbit hole.
They just did a new Home Alone movie, and everyone hated it.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
It was heartbreaking.
I mean,
To see how ugly Macaulay Culkin is, and the women he has pulled, Mila Kunis, like how fucking. I'm not going down it. I'm not. We did it. It's over with. Go find that podcast. I don't even know what number it is with me and JoJo. We had a moment. All right, we went down a rabbit hole together, and I was not happy by the time we got to the end of it. Not happy. Nope. Not happy. Not having it. Not having it.
I feel like it's a touchy subject.
It
not
is.
Like,
yeah.
Not what you're talking about. No, just the whole we're talking about animation shit. Yeah, I think it's just we've all got mixed emotions, but which is good, right? Because we all have like I'm saying we're all like different age range, right? We have like, you know, we're all about the same. So
we all have a skin in it. I mean, I don't like talking about the fact that 8-bit might disappear. I would love for 8-bit to stay around fucking ever. I love 8-bit. I play old games.
It will disappear.
Most likely. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Or
Like I
just be
said,
very niche. You know, it'll never go away entirely. Like they still occasionally make a black and white movie.
Yeah, they'll be.
You know, like it happens.
It'll be referenced forever. For as long as people are
Weirdo
making
gets it
video
in their
games.
head.
yeah.
There will always be somebody making that video game that says, hey, like, we're going to do a historical sampling, and it'll come up forever.
But it's like the
Just may not be
conversation. It's just like the conversation that me and you had on the fucking Final Fantasy thing, though, JoJo, with fucking turn-based attacks. And that's just gone now. Now it's all fucking hack and slash action. Like, turn-based is not...
But, like,
people don't want to play
know,
turn-based anymore.
Yeah,
that's just the
people
thing.
don't wait.
Like, it's still a lot. Like again, like Persona is still
That's
on the
fair.
rise. Now,
That's
Dragon
fair.
Quest still sells 1 billion copies in Japan.
That's fair.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know people that actively seek out turn-based games. Like, they
Yeah,
will
but
buy
what
a game
age rank are they is
only.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, they're
That's
older
what I
than
mean.
me,
Yeah.
so...
Yeah, I got.
That's
no
my
idea,
point.
but,
That's their nostalgia.
That's my point. Oh, man.
I know your daughter's already said her first word, but man, I wish her first word was, turn-based. Like,
That would fucking blow my mind. Oh, my gosh. I mean, to be fair, she probably has. I don't know. It just sounds like she, because that's her favorite shit to
I
say.
can't wait for her to hate Final Fantasy.
Bro, that's going to kill me.
she's gonna. Yeah, that's the
She
thing.
won't be mine, dude. I have to deny her at that point. Damn it. I need a paternity test now.
She looks exactly like
She
you.
does. Oh, my God. I love her to death.
Give her a
but
goatee,
fuck.
and she's you. Like,
Bro, I'm so tired of watching monsters, dude. I don't even
Monsters,
watch it, to be
Inc.
honest. But man, bro, Monsters
Man.
Inc., Monsters Inc. at Work, Monsters Inc. University. They're apparently coming out with the Monsters Inc. at Work season 2. Like, and she's
Aw,
excited about it. She
look,
doesn't even
you
fucking
got
understand
that.
it.
I didn't
Like,
even know it was an
Jesus
at-work
Christ.
one.
I
Yeah.
didn't know about that either.
Yeah, you don't know about Tyler Tuskman and all the other fucking monsters that you don't know who the fuck they are that are now fucking popular. And
I want to know.
they brought Yeti back from banishment, and fucking
Bro.
Sully and Mike run
Bro, does
Monsters
he bring
Inc.
yellow snow cones?
Yes. Yes.
No go.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll talk to you guys later.
Disney Plus, dude. It's there. She
Yeah, I'm
fucking
on it.
loves
I am on
monsters, dude. I bought her a little pair of pink Sully feet for her to wear whenever it's her birthday. We're going to do a whole Monsters Inc. birthday party. I'm going to have fucking fat heads of Sully and Mike and Randall and all that all over the fucking place. Yeah. Doing a whole Monsters Inc. birthday party for her, dude. She fucking loves it. She has so many Sully plushies and Mike plushies, and dude, she's
Gotta
that's her
dress her
shit.
up as Boo.
That's her shit, dude. She loves it, man. She fucking loves it. I'm like, all right, that's your thing.
I hope she asks Chris to dress up as Boo for the party.
I was gonna say somebody's gotta be Boo.
I want it to be Chris.
The sad
because I'm
part
an
is I would
asshole.
totally do it too. So
I know you would. That's the thing. Is I'm just like, if your daughter asked, you'd be like, "We're fucking doing this."
my
Like,
daughter can't talk yet, so I don't have to worry about that. My daughter says "mama," and that's about it.
Oh man, if her first like real outside of mama word is "boo," oh yeah, I want her to chase you around for the next 3 days yelling "boo." That would be perfect.
It would be perfect for you if my grandma lived with me, because that's my nickname for my grandma. So yeah, that'd be perfect. Growing up, I was always Boo Bear. So, and then she just started calling me Boo as I got older and dropped the bear. Thank God. So, fucking 15-year-old in public with girlfriends and shit. My grandma's like, "All right, Boo Bear, get in the car." Like, all right, this shit's getting old. So, oh man, but yeah,
My nickname was Kelsey Koodles, and my parents still say that occasionally, and they have said that in front of my husband, and they're like, "I'm gonna make so much fun of you for that." I'm just like, God damn it, Mom, what the fuck?
That's fucking funny. Oh man, damn, dude. Now I want to watch Sonic 2 again. Fuck you, James. Oh,
Dude,
that was so good.
anytime I have my kid, we watch it at least 75 times.
Oh, it's so good, dude.
Like every other weekend. Okay, realistically, twice, right? Twice every other weekend. Like I know the movie by heart. He don't know the character's name, right? You got red, you got blue, and you got yellow. For real, like that's like I try to
And
teach you,
James Marsden.
and then it's yeah. No, I try to teach him the names, and he's not. I mean, he'll repeat it like after I say it, right? But as far as like going forward, there's blue, you know. So,
Mhm.
did you watch the after credits though? That's the big question.
Of course, obviously.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just making sure.
Of course.
Because the very first time I watched it, I watched it with him the very first time, and obviously, I think we watched it whenever it came on. What was it on? What's it on? Paramount right now?
Paramount,
Paramount, right? So I watched it on Paramount for the first time. I didn't go to theaters to see it.
I did.
And as soon as the credits were going, and all the nostalgia was coming back, he got pissed because there was no more movie. And so I backed off of it. Well, I went to work, and they were like, "Hey, did you watch the after credits?" And I was like, "No." And he said, "You need to go watch it." So I did. Right, watched the whole movie, and he started screaming to turn it off. And I was like, "Wait, there's more."
There's more.
And then of course, everybody's seen it, right?
I'm aware of what happens.
All right.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
No?
So, yeah, but it'll be okay. Go ahead.
I just didn't want to ruin anything, right?
No, you're not gonna
Go
ruin it.
ahead.
So they show Shadow, right?
Shadow
at the very end. They show Shadow at the very end come out of like this fucking chamber that's been under the ground and all kind of bullshit.
Because we need a new villain. Yep.
So Shadow was my favorite character in the whole Sonic Hedgehog, for a long time, And then as soon as he popped out, I was like, oh shit, But it was pretty cool. He had obviously no idea who it was.
So
Bro.
we're gonna have Eggman's grandfather in the next in Maria and everything.
I think the reason, I think they're going after. Well, it's been pretty. There's been a lot of stuff throughout the movies that's pointed that they're going along the Sonic Adventures timeline, 100% going along the Sonic Adventures timeline. But on top of that, Jim Carrey announced that he's retiring from acting, so we needed another villain. We're not going to have Dr. Robotnik because Jim Carrey's his exact words, "I'm only coming back if a script comes down from the gods and it just speaks to me." And I was like, "All right, dude, go paint. We know what you want to do, bro. Go paint."
Which is about time, right?
Oh, for sure. Dude's a
I like
goat.
Jim Carrey a lot, but yeah,
Dude's a goat.
He's getting old. He's done literally every type of movie from A to Z. He's got awards. He's got movies that are going to be here we go. We're talking about going to be fucking watched for years. So.
Let's get back into that conversation.
Yeah, I don't want to spark it up, but he'll have movies that's watched for years, and
That Grinch movie.
Yeah.
God, dude, the OG Grinch is just. Anyways.
He's not the OG Grinch, but.
Well, okay, all right, sorry. Time.
I'm just gonna throw that out there.
If I think of the Grinch, I'm thinking Jim Carrey.
You thinking Jim Carrey? Oh boy, that's
Not me.
a lot about
yeah,
you.
my first one is definitely cartoon. Then it's Jim Carrey for
I'm
sure.
thinking
Sorry,
Benedict
James, I love your
Cumberbatch.
eye.
Okay, I got it. So okay.
The cartoon one, the one you still see in memes because
Yeah,
he does
the
that
big
creepy ass
fucking-
smile with the which also I can do as much as a human face can do that. I can't do it right now because I'm actually smiling, but I have a very impish smile that absolutely my lips do this weird curly thing, and my husband's just like, nope, don't like that, backs away.
Well, there was something else I wanted to fucking talk about movie wise, and I can't think what the fuck it was now. But to transition off that, so we're not fucking just sitting here trying to fucking grab another topic. Speaking of redos and comebacks, James, Toys R Us is making a comeback, bro. It's time to put our applications in.
I did see Toys R Us making a comeback.
It's time to go put our applications in, bro.
And what is it, Macy's right now?
Yeah, Macy's stores, and I think that they're also
Macy's
selling
stores?
Kroger, stuff in Kroger's, their toys are getting sold in Kroger stores.
Wait, are they getting a little pop-up thing, a little Starbucks, inside Macy's? Is your little Toys R Us?
Yeah, basically.
Interesting.
And it's ran by the same company.
Yes, the same company.
Yeah,
that's insane. It's they're starting all over. It's literally you shit the bed, and they took what's it been since they've been closed down? 2-3 years?
It's been something.
Years.
It's been something.
Right? They took this time to
They never really closed down. They closed down all their American stores and then stayed open in Mexico and then just sold stuff over the border, basically.
So I guess they did well enough there to revamp, restart back over here, which is cool, right? That's nostalgia 101 right there.
They filed for bankruptcy in 2017.
2017. There you go.
Jesus Christ, it's been that long.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I just wonder,
3 years, Jesus.
with the amount of stores they had, it's got to be fucking public news on how shitty they treated their fucking employees and shit, when they were going out of business. Everybody's 401k got fucking taken away, all that shit. There's people. For those of you who fucking don't know this, but fucking that's how me and James met working at Toys R Us. Before both of us worked there, my mom worked there. She worked there for a long time. Probably 20 years, I would fucking think. I don't know. So that's a whole nest egg just gone. That's crazy. I can't imagine that. That's fucking nutty. So,
Yeah, they had a huge store in my town, and it's still nothing. It's just a giant empty husk of a Toys R Us with the sign still up and decoration.
Wait, I thought you couldn't see the sign anymore because I thought I drove by this the other day and and the sign isn't there anymore, but the
imprint,
like shadow of the sign is there. So, like you look at it and you're like, oh, I know what that was.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking. Yeah,
that's how ours was forever. That's right by me. And then every fucking year, you would see this nasty ass fucking
Spirit Halloween.
Yeah, Kelsey knows exactly where I was going. Let's go. Spirit Halloween, move its little ass in there. But now it's like some outdoor adventure park. I haven't even been in there yet. Kind of want to go in there and see. It's called Urban Air, I think is the name of it.
Yeah, that's just legit.
Yeah, I've never been.
They have urban airs down here like crazy.
Indoor, not outdoor.
Yeah, they got the trampolines and all kind of shit in there.
Yeah, I've never been.
I mean, that's my jam.
That's your daughter kind of thing.
Well, my daughter can barely fucking walk.
No, like you bounce her.
Oh.
No, you don't.
I don't
Their
know where
little
she's
bones
at, yeah.
can't handle it until they're 6. So like,
That's
keep her off the damn
wrong.
trampoline.
Their little bones are very, very, very durable. They bend.
No!
When they're
young, straight up come out
they
and
don't
like,
break.
do not put your child on a trampoline. You will break their little femurs.
Oh, okay. A finger's a little different.
Yeah, they're
A
important.
femur, you can you that motherfucker and it'll come right back. I'm kidding, by the way.
Oh man,
I'm probably serious, but I haven't ever done it.
My daughter is nowhere near the age for me to take her to that. That is fair. Yeah, no, she can walk. She's getting there. Like she doesn't walk for a long time, but she walks a lot more than she used to now, which is great. So we're getting there, slowly but surely. We're getting there. All kids take different steps and different routes. I'm just ready for her to start talking yet, and then once she starts talking, I'm sure I'll be missing the times that she wasn't. So
you're not wrong. You're not
She's
wrong.
gonna swear back at you correctly in context, and that's gonna be a really fun moment for the rest of us.
She's gonna be what?
She's gonna be swearing back at you correctly.
No.
Like she's gonna conjugate it properly in context, and it's gonna be great.
No, I've had to put the whole PG-13 conversation law down so that way we're not corrupting my daughter. So
cute that you think 13-year-olds don't swear.
Well, that means you get one
yeah.
fuck.
Well, at that point, that's a different story. I mean,
No,
hell,
you
I
said
was swearing about like
PG-13, not G-rated. You haven't G-rated
whatever,
your language.
Whatever, Kelsey. Jesus Christ.
No. I'm an accountant. Let me live in this. This is what I do. I split hairs. It's fun.
Good God.
Everyone else is having fun, right?
Who invited you to this fucking podcast? Jesus Christ.
I have talked to many an accountant, but most of them weren't intelligent. You're an exception.
Where's that going, Canter?
I was hoping he was just going to leave it there with the I've talked to accountants before.
I've talked to so many librarians.
I mean,
An accountant.
There were several accountants that would ask me as a tech support for a program how to balance the balance sheet. And I was like, I don't know.
Make sure it weighs the same on both sides.
That's their job.
I know, and I would tell them, well, you see, the top part of the balance sheet with the incoming needs to equal the liabilities. I don't know what the answer is. You need to finally figure that out. There were several of them. It was a reoccurring thing, Kelsey. Reoccurring.
So, okay, I got follow-ups. We're not going to talk about accounting all day, don't worry. Was this a, hey, I don't know how to make...
All right, everybody, that's going to do it for the Dead Funny podcast.
Shut the fuck up! Was this a, I don't know how to make the software do what it's supposed to do? Or is this genuinely like a, why does it say there's a thingy? Like a balance? Why is it here?
Exactly. Why does it say it's off by $2,000?
Because it's off by $2,000, go find it!
Yeah. And we would have to take them, here's where you do it in the program. Okay, what do I put there? I don't know. I don't have the books. I'm not an accountant. We can add 2,000 up here or take away 2,000 down here. Your choice. I'll help you make whatever line say whatever you want it to say, but I don't know what it needs to say.
Is your keyboard working? Is your mouse clicking? Everything else is on you.
Yep.
Oh my god. I have never called an IT guy and been like, hey, how do I do my job?
There you go.
But again, I like finding low bars so I know I'm above them. That's the asshole I am.
Hey, that's the good thing to search for because you can never let somebody down.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean?
I think I've told you guys my cheaping story with my husband. Is that right? Have I told you
Yes.
guys that yet?
Yes, you have.
It's okay. Have I told everybody?
Probably
It's okay.
not.
I don't need to waste everybody's time if everybody knows this.
I don't think the other than 2 newest ones now.
All right, super fast. I'm not gonna tell this forever. I have 2 types of hiccups, one of which sounds like a normal hiccup, and the other which sounds like a bird cheep. I thought my husband knew this information. This man was willing to marry me, be seen in public with me, tie his credit to mine, all that jazz, believing that I genuinely just randomly was like, cheap like a bird, cheap like a bird, cheap like a bird. Like, he just thought I randomly cheaped in public. I was just like,
Not
that's
knowing
the
it was a
thing my
hiccup.
wife does.
He was just okay with. Whoa, hold on. So
He thought I was just randomly like,
he was okay with you just walking around chirping like a fucking bird.
yeah,
It was
he's
like,
willing to
I'm
marry me.
this woman.
Yeah. It wasn't until like a couple years ago that I did that, and he was like, why are you cheaping? And I'm like, it's a hiccup. I didn't choose it. And he's like, oh, I just thought you've been cheaping for years, and I lost
Weird
my
man.
shit.
There's no reason to sound like a bird.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, long story short, I discovered in my marriage that the threshold for crazy was way further out there than I thought it
No
was. And I'm like,
shit.
cool. Like, now I know cheap like a bird is on the table. Like, there's a few other things that I can also do. This is fun.
Oh my god.
I have not ruined his life since, but like, I was shocked.
You know.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I don't know what that says about his taste, but hey, he was willing to marry me, thinking I cheaped like a bird randomly.
I mean, to me, that doesn't sound weird, so.
Yeah, there you go. See? Only 2 of us married on this podcast.
Oh man. Yep. Kelsey's weird. That's for sure.
Yeah, I am. And you shitheads keep hanging out with me, so I don't know what that says about which one of us. I apologize for calling you shitheads. I didn't mean it.
Wow, that was rude. Feelings
It
hurt.
was really rude. I feel bad.
Wow.
No, I feel bad. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna go cry here in a minute.
No, you fucking aren't.
No, for real. Like, there's this one time my dog died and I didn't cry, but that one is like,
That one's gonna get you.
That's
right
bringing
in
the
soul.
tears back up. Yep.
it's, man.
It's gonna bring it up because you remember when your dog called you a shithead, and that's just too real.
Yeah, I'm just like she cut, like Old Yeller, right? They didn't even do it for me. You calling me a shithead? I'm about to just go fucking. I'm about to waste all the toilet paper I got, like that pack of wipes right there. Bam, done. That thing's gone.
Speaking.
Snatch-induced diarrhea just explode in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. Well, speaking of men that Kelsey think are a shithead.
I don't think you shitheads. I'm sorry.
Who else's fucking timeline is just blown up with this fucking Andrew Tate shit? Jesus fucking Christ.
Hey,
this
let
dude
me
is
tell you
I have
about
no
Andrew
idea
Tate.
who that is.
Let me
No?
tell you about Andrew Tate.
Wow.
That dude is. That dude
Kelsey
is the dude.
would fucking
Oh my God, he would hate him.
absolutely hate
She would
him.
hate Tate.
Oh,
I mean, she would hate Tate. Sorry, she would hate Andrew Tate. Like, oh man. So,
He's
So
one of
long
those
story-
old world men for sure.
long story short, he basically calls women out for the shit that they do that they say they don't do. Like, as far as like,
I don't know
I don't
if
know,
that's
I-
long story short, but
yeah, I mean,
I think that's
Now
like
they're gonna
a
try to
shard of the
fucking-
story personally. But
hypocritical women.
hypocritical women, sure, yes. He got famous for the fact that he used to be a UFC fighter. Then from there, he started to do podcasting, blah, blah, blah. Dude's super fucking rich, super fucking cocky about it, blah, 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 blah. All that other shit.
So your
Hey.
favorite person?
No, actually not. So he got big on this podcast moment where it's these 2 guys who quote unquote say that they're saving men. It's the most dumb fucking shit I've ever heard in my fucking life. But
You feel like you're in
basically,
danger?
well, it's just more along the lines of like women have a lot more of the cards whenever it comes to dating than men do, right? Men want women more than women want men, so they have the leisure of actually being able to pick something that's a lot more desirable than them. If a man is ugly, the chance of him getting someone who's like way out of his league or slim versus a woman the other way around, potential blah 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 blah, all this other shit. That's what they talk about. That's what they talk about. Go on and on and on about how they're going to save men, all this other shit, right?
Interesting.
It's a very weird fucking show. I watched a couple episodes because they showed up on my my boy Andrew Schulte's podcast, and like they tore them the fuck apart. They're like, most of the shit you're talking is fucking dangerous to young men. Like you act like they're out there getting fucking hunted down or something. You're fucking being dumb. Anyways, so Andrew Tate was on there.
You're actually being killed, but continue.
Andrew Tate was on there, and I mean, some of the shit he says is legit. I will say that, 100%. Some of the shit he says is legit. But he goes so far with some of his shit. And he's one of those old school guys where it's like, I'm the man, I work, I protect, I provide, blah, 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 blah.
Old school morals, right? Like
right,
men
exactly.
Work, women are housekeepers. Like,
right.
That's how it is.
Now,
men work, pay all the bills, women are, whatever.
Where his saving grace is with that is he says... That's not what I believe that women are. That's what I believe my woman should be. Women can be whatever they want to. I'm just letting women know ahead of time, this is the woman that I want. I want you to be someone that wants to be at home. I want you to be someone who's going to take care of the kids. Blah, 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 blah. So, only saving grace. If he was like, all women should be at home, all women should not be working, I would be like, all right, that's fucking crazy. He even says that multiple times. I'm talking about women that apply to me. And so he was on, this is the only time where he ever fucking had me just dying laughing, but he was on this fucking podcast called the BFF Podcast with Dave Portnoy and them, and these women were calling him, literally what I just said, word for word, what I just said. And they were calling him misogynistic for it. And he's like, well, I don't understand how that makes me misogynistic. I'm not saying that you should be at home. I'm saying, like, if you wanted to be my girlfriend, these are the rules that I want our relationship to live by. And they're like, yeah, that makes you misogynistic. And he's like, it doesn't make me misogynistic. It means that I have my standards of what I want, just like you have your standards of what you want. And if your standards don't line up with me, we should not be together. So how does that make me misogynistic? And so they go, okay, you're right. It doesn't make you misogynistic. It just means that you hate women. And so at this point, he knows that there's no point in arguing with him, right? So he goes, honestly, you know what? I think that that's wrong. He's like, I would say that I love women more than anybody else in the world. Actually, kind of crazy true fact, 100% of the people that I've made love to are women. And I was like, no way, he just said that. It was so fucking funny. Shit had me fucking dying. Like, at that point, he was just like, fuck it, I'm just going to be a dick. These people are not going to fucking listen up to me. They're just going to keep calling me misogynistic. And he even says that before he gets out the podcast. He's like, there's no point talking. He's like, you guys have your view of seeing it. That's completely fine. He's like, I would get it if I was telling every single woman this is what she should do. That's not what I'm saying. This is the way I want my relationship to be ran. Blah, 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 blah. But where a lot of people disagree with his views, which I watched, which was such a fucking terrible podcast to watch. I don't know why I wasted my fucking time with this one. But it popped up my feed, and I was like, fuck it, I'm watching. He was talking to some, like, Twitch streamers, and went on and on and on about, like, how, I guess men who... How did he fucking phrase it? Now I can't think of how he phrased it, and I don't want to fucking misquote it. Either way, main point. I'll get to what main point was. No.
I'm just
maybe.
Googling, like,
I don't know who Hassan is. It was like XQBC or some shit like that.
I
was
see
the
some
fucking
people mentioning too. I don't know.
That guy. They went on and on and on. Yeah, because like fucking Tate was basically like, you know, at some point this dumb conversation came up where somebody threw a scenario of like, if somebody breaks into your house, Tate was like, I absolutely believe it is the man's job to make sure that no harm comes to his woman.
I remember this.
Someone breaks into, like, I should be going downstairs. To where the other guy was like, no, there's nothing wrong with whoever goes downstairs. If the woman wants to go downstairs and see the intruder, then that's completely fine. And Tate's like, absolutely not. He's like, I 100% believe that women should be cherished more than men. They give a lot more to society than men do with being able to have children, blah, 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 blah. The man should be able to protect that and go down there, live or die. Like, the women should be preserved at that point. He's all like, it's been like that throughout time. Look at whenever a fucking burning building happens, who are the first people out? Women and children. Whenever a fucking boat sinks, who's the first people on the rescue boats? Women and children. There's a reason for that.
That's very American. That's not true everywhere. In many Asian cultures, the first people saved are the elderly. Like, you save the elderly because the young people can probably figure it out. And it doesn't matter their gender. It's just you save whoever's oldest. So it's an American ideal, but please continue.
Right.
I'm just trying to say it's not universal.
I don't know if it's just American, though. I feel like there's a lot of other cultures out there that, like, the women are a lot more preserved.
I mean, it's probably European or something. It's probably...
Yeah, like, there's definitely some basis in it. So, like, when you look at it, like, oh, yeah, well, the British do it this way, too. Well, like, yeah. There's a few of these, like, there's
Oh, I'm just saying it's bigger than
Western
America.
culture.
It's bigger than America.
Sure.
That's what I mean.
Just it's very Western. I don't know that it's universal.
Yeah, it might not
I'm
be.
sure.
Yeah, for sure. I'm
And
not going to
that's
act
the
like I have the
argument I'm trying to
stats. Yeah, no, absolutely. So yeah, and it was just a big conversation about that where they were just going back and forth, and this one dude was all like, "There's no," he's like, "Bro, if I want to jump out the window and run, and she chooses not to follow me, like that's on her." And he's like, "You shouldn't just fucking just like up and leave her. Like it's your job to help make sure that she stays alive." Like that was the argument, and it was such a dumb argument. It was just back and forth that this dude was all like, "If she's left to die, that's on her." Like another one was like they brought up was like, "If a bear came and attacked you in the woods, what do you do?" And he's like, "Your job is to make sure she gets out. So you do what you can to distract that bear while she fucking runs." He's like, "No, I'm running, she's running. If she falls behind, that's on her. That's not my fault." And Tate's like, "Absolutely not. Like, you should be trying to fucking stop the bear from mauling her to fucking death." Like, I mean, what do you want? The dude's like, "You want me to wrestle bear?" He's like, "I mean, if it fucking came down to it, but there's other things you can do to potentially stop a bear. Like, if you're going in a spot where there's a bear, you should have backup plans for if said bear shows the fuck up, to be able to hopefully get the people you brought with you the fuck out to safety." Like, that's just common sense, which I kind of agree with that. So, I mean, as someone who has sprayed themselves with bear mace, I kind of agree with that. It hurts. Like, it fucking hurts.
Why did you do that?
It was completely an accident. It was my first time ever having bear mace, and I just wanted to see how far the range was. My dumb ass decided to shoot it upwind, and it came right back and hit me in the face.
I can blind you.
It was
I know
great.
I told you that before.
Yep, it hurt a lot. I was pretty
How
much...
far did it shoot, though?
Oh, fucking far, son.
Into the wind, so.
Buddy, I had some
that's-
fucking distance,
That's
son.
impressive. If it was going 15 feet into the wind, just imagine downwind. You know what I mean? Just know if you come up on a bear comes up on you, make sure you got the fucking runaround. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Wait, let me get to where it's downwind, please. Hold on one second, Mr.
Yeah.
Bears are known for waiting. So
Exactly.
Fair.
For sure.
Very patient creatures.
They're like, you know what? All right, I feel you. Go ahead.
Yeah,
got the
I
advantage
understand.
here.
Go ahead and get the high ground, guys.
I have the advantage
It's
still.
already, so go ahead. Just,
We're gonna let your woman run away and you can have the high ground. I totally understand how this
Between
goes.
me and you, like, she's easy, I don't want that.
But my main point with the Andrew...
Bears aren't here for sluts. That's what we just found out.
That's it. Yeah, bears are very picky.
My main point with the Andrew Tate shit is that it's so insane how just such a little moment can make somebody out to be, whether it's a hero or a villain, and the fucking fame that comes with that. This dude went from like fucking a retired UFC fighter, nobody, to he is fucking stupid, insanely popular now.
People
within
like
weeks.
guys are thinking like he's like king, like it's like King Tate. Like people
It's
are so
fucking
behind
nuts.
his words, like
It's nutty.
about women, and like he gets into people's. Like, don't get me wrong, like Chris said, like some of the things he said is like, yeah, I mean it's real. Like there was one, I can't remember what it was. It was like he was interviewing somebody or whatever, and it was like three different women, and he asked him, like, you know, okay, so like be honest and rate yourself 1 to 10. Like he asked him that, and, like immediately, like he paused, like it was like a watch over, right? Like he paused the video, and he was like, they're all gonna say 10, like just because, you know, some women are like that, right? So like, of course all three of them, you know, we're all 10s across the board, you know, and so it was like, so are you saying you're perfect? And they're like, you know, no, not really. Okay, well, then if you're not perfect, then why'd you say you're like, you know what I mean? Like, basically, it's like hypocritical shit like he calls people out for. And so, like, a lot of guys are like, you know what? He makes a point. Like people hold themselves to, like, a higher standard than what they really are. And I don't know. It was like, but there's a lot of guys getting behind it. A lot of guys, like, you know, saying, oh, you know what? He's right, you know? And it's, like, getting behind the movement. And he's, like Chris said, he's, like, on TikTok, like, he is just stupid popular right now.
Every social media outlet, he is pretty much almost the top search thing. It's fucking insane.
It
it's
is
people researching him because they're like, this guy's praising the new Bible, or people are searching him and this guy's the fucking new Antichrist. Like, it's insane. It's fucking nuts. Oh,
I also,
my gosh.
with what little I know based on the arguments you guys are presenting, like, there's so much greater complexity than can be even, like there's great complexity in female relationships when you're having a conversation about, like, what would you rank yourself? Like, how a woman would do that in a group versus how a woman would do that in an intimate situation with somebody. Like, those are very wildly different things. Yeah. And partially due to, there's an entire female socialization experience that none of you lot have ever had and have any idea the rules about how they exist, how any of that and like huge issues happen. Like even in business school, one of the things that they were teaching us is like, hey, this is normal in female culture and this is normal in male culture. So if this happens, like it's not a negative thing. Like if a woman gives you a compliment, she's not hitting on you. If a guy doesn't respond to your compliment with a compliment, it doesn't mean he thinks you're trash. And like it's shit like that. Like women always compliment back and forth. Like it is a reciprocal thing, and guys don't do that. And so like it's shit like that he's trying to bring this moment of like, oh hey, you're saying you're perfect into this moment where these women are trying to instead say like, we are all valuable and we deserve to be treated as valuable. And he's like, oh, so you think you're perfect? And that's like they're speaking such different languages as to be irrelevant. Like they're not having a conversation, they're soliloquizing like near each other.
I do want to point out, just before you go a little bit further, I do want to point out the women that he's talking to. Like, it's not just random women he's picking up off the street either. These are like women who are like Instagram models, who are fucking like basketball players and have these like large social media platforms, blah 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 blah. I just want to make sure like you understand, like at least as far as like I want to put it in the right light. I'm not trying to stick up for
women that have a brand. Like they have a
correct, exactly, yes, exactly.
Yes.
So why would they on brand
correct,
be off brand?
Exactly.
Like,
I just wanted to make sure. Like I said, I'm not sticking up for Tate. I just want to make sure it didn't seem like he's pulling off random women off the street, putting them on blast on a podcast, being like, "Rate yourself." You know what I mean? I'm just trying to be forthcoming about that part.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I also think asking somebody who's making money off of their looks to have a conversation in that moment about like, does 10 mean perfect, or does 10 support your brand that's actually like bringing you money? Like he's trying to tear down the thing bringing them money, and they're getting hostile about it. And like most of us, I'm gonna guess on this call, are gonna get a little pissy if somebody gets between us and the thing that's making us money and trying to tear us down. Like, so it's like, my point is just, it's probably not anywhere near as black and white as the people on either side screaming are trying to make it seem.
Not even close. I'm sure it's
and not. I don't appreciate that, because an idea can be rooted in misogyny while not being misogynistic. And that's not something most of us have time to rip apart in a podcast.
No,
or like close. Especially not when we're all emotionally high thinking we're being told something. Like, nah.
It's funny that you brought up the whole women with the complimenting thing, because I found this fucking meme and I posted it a while back, but it's fucking hilarious and it made me think about that. I saw this and I saw this and I could not stop. I started crying. I was laughing
it's so hard. Good. It
literally says, "How girls treat girls. Am I fat? Oh my god, no, you're so beautiful. How guys treat guys. Bro, am I fat? Bro, I know 5 fat people and you are 4 of them."
Oh my god, that's so mean.
It's so awesome. It's so true
it's too. Like, no way, dude. Like, and you are
true.
4 of them. Like, that's so fucking good. Oh my god, that should have me dying. Oh my god, it should have me dying.
Yeah.
All right, as we get close to the end here, last thing that I wanted to bring up, I talked about it on the last podcast, or the podcast before that. Some of you actually messaged me to get more information on where to find it, and I told you where to go get it. My boy Andrew Schultz, for those of you who don't know, and like Kelsey and stuff like that, because you weren't here for the podcast, he's a comedian, and I actually think you would really enjoy his special, to be honest. He's a comedian, super fucking funny guy. And he sent his comedy special over to a network that was paying for him to do it, and they wanted him to edit out about 75% of his jokes. And he said, "I'm not going to do that because people want actual jokes." He's one of these comedians that they like kind of fight for comedy, because comedy's constantly getting torn down. I mean, Dave Chappelle just lost another show just recently. That was like this week. This was supposed to happen this weekend. And he said, you shouldn't ever fucking have to edit out your jokes. Obviously, if you're not hurting people, you're not doing stuff like that, you're not calling to violence, there should be nothing wrong. Jokes are jokes. Things need to be funny. He's like, things need to be talked about. Things have to be talked about. And so he decided that he was going to spend his savings to buy the rights to his show back, which he did, and then released it on his website, and blew the fuck up. Like, he made 3 times what he was supposed to be making just through the network, which is fucking awesome. Now, the reason why this dude is like so big to me is he didn't go through the natural like order of things for comedians, like going out and doing stand up, blah 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 blah. Like, he does stand up, he goes out and does it, but like he's always been like a YouTube model. So everything comes back to his YouTube, and he's built up his entire, like, you can watch fucking podcasts with tons of other comedians who are like, I don't know how you broke this code and how you figured it out, but holy fuck, if this was around whenever I started, like, I would have a way better fucking life than I do now. Like, it's fucking insane how you got to this. And he's just so fucking, he's fucking awesome. I just don't know how else to put it. But either way, for those of you who did go and buy it after I said so, that's awesome, man. I'm glad you guys supported Schulte. He's a fucking awesome dude. I would love to meet him one day. But yeah, it's a super great show. If you haven't seen it, you should go watch it. You can buy it once again on his website, www.andrewschultz.com, and it's fucking phenomenal. Such a good stand-up.
Would you like to say how much it was?
It was $14, and you own it.
There you go.
$14, and you own it. So he said, I'm not going to charge you any more than it would have cost you a ticket to get in. So $14, and you own it. It is
at your house, the comfort of your living room.
Yeah.
You know?
So it was
Which
really...
all of us have spent a lot of time in recently.
Yeah.
You know, there you go. You can watch Andrew Schultz while you're, just...
It was
popping it up.
It was such a good fucking show, dude. That dude had me dying left and right. Oh, my God. Anyways, but yeah, no, he's definitely really cool. It's kind of like I was telling JoJo and them. He's one of those guys where, like, he does a lot of, like, the touching on the different races and stuff like that, but he's, like, very educational in the way he does it. So, like, you learn shit, which is really, really interesting. One of my favorite jokes by him that he did is he's talking to this Indian guy in the audience, and he's talking about his bracelet that he's wearing. And he's all like, if I remember correctly, like, that's what, this specific type of warrior used to wear when they would go to war, right? And it's like, yeah, you guys come from this, this tribe, blah, 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 blah. It's like, yeah, how'd you know all that? And he's like, man, dude, yeah, you guys were badasses, blah, 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 blah. He goes, so if you guys ever get, in an Uber and you see that bracelet resting on a steering wheel, you just know ain't nothing fucking going down in that car. And I was just like, oh my God. Yeah. No fucking way. So, like, he does it, but he also gives you, like, this history behind all this different shit. It's really cool how he does stuff, and it just it's made him huge. Yeah, it's made him huge. Like, people really respect it because they're like, I can go to your comedy show, and it's like, it doesn't feel like race is an awkward conversation because, like, you're actually giving people knowledge behind shit as well. So, super cool guy.
I found him first on TikTok, and before you started, like, slamming him in everybody's ears.
Yeah, right.
Dude's amazing, dude.
Yeah, before you shoved everything down everybody's throats. But I found him on TikTok, and I liked him because even on his stand-up, like, he gets, like, it's very, what is it, like, crowd engaging. Like, he works with the crowd. It's so good. His crowd work is just phenomenal. Yep. And I feel like that makes a really good comedian. Like, that on the spot, like, that shit,
that quick shit.
JoJo knows what I'm talking about. Yeah. But
he does.
Yeah. Exactly. JoJo knows what I'm talking about. So, like, crowd work, I feel like
him specifically, but I understand conceptually. Yeah.
I mean, crowd work to me is, like, so important, right? Because you can write jokes. A bunch of jokes. That's cool, whatever. But, like, whenever you bring it to the show, bring it to the audience, and, like, it gets personal. Once it gets personal, that's when it gets really funny.
Yep, relatable.
Yep.
That's what a lot of the comedians talk about. Your stories and shit, you need to be relatable. Yep. Whenever you can relate it directly talking to the crowd, yeah, it's a whole nother level. But yeah, that shit was awesome because, like, after I promoted on that last podcast, well, I didn't really promote it, I just talked about it. But a lot of you, it was like 6 of you. Yeah, it was like 6 people reached out to me and asked me where to find that because you were having trouble finding it because it took them to a weird website, and it did the same thing to me too. And I was like, what the fuck is this? So I guess I should say that as well. You go there, you click on it, and then it takes you to a website called The Movement something whatever. It's like a fucking place where people will upload their, like, movies and shit that aren't on networks, blah 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 blah.
It's a scam. They go straight into Chris's bank account.
Yeah, he's just taking finances.
Let's go. Hey, that's a feature. Yeah, let's go. Kelsey knows. Let's go. Oh, man. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. We're running a little bit over time, but I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff. Sharing is the biggest one. Sharing is caring, as always. The more people you share us around to, the more views we get, and the bigger we get, and that's the best way you can support us. So we definitely appreciate that, especially all you that stick around, watch all of our stuff, and like all of our stuff. You guys are awesome. Comments have been pretty good recently as well. I'm appreciating some of that back and forth interaction, especially when it comes to the Final Fantasy stuff, because these guys get tired of talking to me about Final Fantasy, except for JoJo. But these guys get tired of talking to me about Final Fantasy, so having some people in the comments, it's been pretty nice. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and we will see you next time.